It's been a while since Dwyane Wade has been back on Marquette's campus, but his visit this time around was to promote something much closer to his heart than basketball. Wade's new book, titled A Father First: How My Life Became Bigger Than Basketball, focuses on Wade's experiences as a father, and he returned to his alma mater Tuesday for a special signing of his narrative with one of the communities that has been most supportive of him.
I realized that, the platform that I had, I want to use it for something positive. And I felt that sharing my life experiences, sharing things that I've been through, the successes and the failures, that I can help, the young kids out that, when I talk to them, they might look at me and see Dwyane Wade now. It was just a sharing, everything that happened in my life in a sense, and it wasn't easy. But, I decided to do it because I feel like it's going to help someone else.
The book, released September 4th, includes several extremely personal accounts dating back to Wade's childhood and progressing through to his current life as a father of two. Wade acknowledged some of the highly publicized material in his book and some of the emotional challenges that he faced in the writing process.
I think this book is really me telling the truth and being honest and talking about a lot of personal things, in a sense. So, I do talk about my mom's addiction. I do talk about my divorce. I do talk about my custody battle. I talk about moments and times during the process, what I was thinking, what I was going through. So I think you read it, you will read it and say, this is very honest. It was just kind of reliving everything over again. And, and kind of had to go through that, in a room with just me and my writer, or, it's kind of emotional to do that, but I thought that it was good.
It is through the book that Dwyane shows his intention to be not only an NBA champion and all-star, but an all-star father as well.
One day when they get to go back and read a little bit about, their grandma, and they get to go back and read about, their dad and, aunties and the upbringing of me and how I got to this point. But also when they get to read about, my decision I had to make, in the process of getting divorced and going for custody. One thing I am with my kids, I'm very open, I'm very honest, when they have questions. But it's going to come a point in time where they're going to understand things a little differently, and they're going to want to find out on their own. So, I understood that, going into this process, and I don't hide anything. I would never hide anything from them. So any questions that they have for me, I give them my honest answer, give them my truth. After everything we've been through, for me it's comforting. And, it also shows me that I have a lot of work to continue to do, as they grow up into being young men, of being a role model to them and being a leader. So, my job is just starting.
From the Al McGuire Center, Mark Freund, MUTV Sports.